Okay, good evening. I'd like to continue by following up with the contents of the syllabus, which I was not able to discuss yesterday. In the syllabus, the last part is the grading system. Now, since we are on a semestral term, we are going to have the midterm exam equivalent to 25%, and then we have the final exam supposed to be 35%, and the quizzes 25%, and we still have the other components to make up 15%. So that makes a total of 100%. Now, but since we are on a try term, no? Or we have two terms in one sem. Now, during the first term, we have the midterm exam, and then the final exam will be given during the second term, and the quizzes will be given in let's say in two terms time. So but anyway, that will still be given 25%, but that will be spread out in two terms including the second term. So all in all, we still have 100% for the other requirements. Now, for the other requirements, we have the assignment, sit work, board work, and recitation. All of this will be given only 15%. But however, since we cannot have our board work, never, no? Kay we are on online schooling. So, possibly the 15% will come from the grades of your assignment. Usually, the assignment I used to give short quizzes based on the assignment. So, short quizzes based on the assignment or based on the assigned problems or theories, and that will be given corresponding points. Now, I may give short quizzes based on the assignment, siguro mga every Monday lang, every Monday morning. So every Monday morning, so that you have enough time to study. So that will be every Monday morning, not every day, no? Kay every day. Anyway, we will discuss the assignments every day. So you can just participate by giving your answers, but the exam short quiz based on the assignment will be given only every Monday. So anyway, that will be given a total point system equivalent to 15%. Now, based on the passing mark, since our total is 100%, and I understand that you have grade requirements in every year, no? So like first year you are required 175. Now another grade requirement second year. How about third year? So that will be your basis. Though the passing mark of 60% is only good for 3.0. So it does not apply to you with regards to the passing grade. Now, for the gross weighted average, after adding the sum of your midterm, final exam, quizzes, and the other requirements, you get the gross weighted average or the general weighted average. So, for example, if the general weighted average is 90 and the passing mark is 60, so you have a difference of 30. And then you divide it by 100 minus 60. So you divide it by 40 and then multiply by 25 plus 75. That will give you your transmuted value. And based on the transmuted value, if the transmuted value is, for example, 92, then your numerical grade is 1.5. Okay, so this is how we compute your grades for this subject. Now, likewise, students with incomplete grade and no other subjects enrolled must enroll for academic residency during the succeeding semesters until he/she completes the requirement but not to exceed 1 year. Otherwise, the student must re-enroll the course. The official date of graduation of students with incomplete mark will be after compliance of the requirements in the residency period. So this applies to graduating students. Students who miss the scheduled prelim, midterm, or final exam should take the special exam with 10 school days after the last day of the scheduled major exam. Otherwise, the missed exam shall automatically be given a score of 0 or a grade equivalent of 5.0. So in other words, you have to take note of the number of days by which you are still allowed to take major exams that you will be missing. Now for the classroom policies, the class shall start with a prayer, words of wisdom. Plagiarism is not tolerated by the university. Appropriate permissions and citations must be practiced at all times. A student is required to be present in the synchronous sessions. A student may be dropped from the program if she or he has been absent for 50% of the total number of synchronous sessions. Students should communicate with the faculty member concerning his or her absence, which may be due to internet connectivity problems or electric power shutdowns for the arrangement of the requirements. The student should upload a snapshot of the medical certificate for absences due to sickness. Gross or excessive failure of the student to comply with the requirements during the time frame posted by the faculty may result to the dropping from the course. Students should be honest in taking the examinations and in the preparation of assignments and reports. The term's proposal defense will be evaluated using a set of criteria that is in your research subjects. A written proposal is due at least 3 days before the scheduled day and time of presentation. Now, these statements are applicable to your research subjects. The College of Business and Accountancy Standard of Academic Integrity, in consonance with the university's vision of exemplary Christian education for Life for Excel in support of her objective to produce graduates who demonstrate Christian character and of the college's educational objective to produce alumni who exhibit ethical values and professionalism. The college enjoins all business and accountancy students to pursue scholarly activities in an honest, ethical, and moral way. Specifically, they are expected not to commit nor tolerate acts such as, but not limited to, cheating, plagiarism, falsification, forgery, bribery, or misuse of university resources which undermine academic integrity. When a student is suspected of cheating, plagiarism, falsification, and or other forms of academic dishonesty, appropriate disciplinary action may be taken after due process. Now we have this statement of commitment which you are supposed to sign as a student of the CPU College of Business and Accountancy. I recognize that I am a part of a community that espouses Christian values, academic excellence, and highest level of professionalism. I therefore commit myself to support this quality policy and uphold to the best of my ability the CBE's standard of academic integrity. I will claim ownership only for work output which is truly my own. I will give appropriate credit where credit is due. I will use resources provided with care, and I will choose to be fair and honest in all my dealings. So you are supposed to sign this. Usually we require our first year students to begin with this. Okay? So these are the very important policies that we have in the grading system. Now, yesterday I lectured on the PowerPoint of chapter 1 and was able to finish the almost 40 slides, and the remainder I told you to continue and finish up to the last slide. And I gave you the theory assignments for true or false, and for the multiple choice theory, which we are going to tackle today. So let's now begin with the theory, the true or false, with numbers 1 up to 42. Then following, we have the multiple choice theory from number 43 up to 123 for that theory, 127. So we have, let's now begin with the theory, true or false. Number 1, when two entities competing in the same industry combine, it is called a horizontal business combination. So we have two entities competing in the same industry combined, and we have horizontal business combination. Now, number 2, horizontal business combinations are likely to occur when management is attempting to dominate a geographic segment of the market. So number two is false. We have a note for number two. A horizontal combination occurs when management attempts to dominate an industry. So dominate an industry and not to dominate a geographic segment of the market. Next, number three, one way that a horizontal business combination can increase sales for an entity is to expand into new product markets. So to expand into new product markets through. Next, number four, a vertical business combination generally involves companies attempting to improve the efficiency of operations by purchasing suppliers of inputs or purchases of outputs. So number four is still true. Five, when a retail clothing store purchases a competitor in another city, a vertical combination has occurred. So, purchased a competitor in another city, a vertical combination has occurred. The answer to number five is false. A vertical combination exists when an entity purchases another entity that could have a buyer-seller relationship with the acquirer. The combination described here is a horizontal combination. So a vertical combination exists when an entity purchases another entity that could have a buyer-seller relationship with the acquirer. The combination described here is horizontal combination as given in number 5. So number 5 is false. It's not vertical uh, combination. It's not, but it's horizontal. 6. A vertical combination is one where the entities have a potential buyer-seller relationship. So when there is a potential buyer-seller relationship, then it's a vertical combination. 7. A business combination in which a supplier of raw materials is acquired is a conglomerate combination. Now, number 7 is false. A business combination in which a supplier of raw materials is acquired is a conglomerate combination. 7 is false because now we have a note at the bottom. A conglomerate combination is one where an unrelated or tangentially related business is acquired. A vertical combination occurs when a supplier is acquired. So this time, it's not a conglomerate combination in number 7. So 7 is false. Then 8, a conglomerate combination is often undertaken to help increase income stability due to diversifying the asset base of an entity. So number 8 is true. 9. Conglomerate combinations are easy for the government to challenge in court. Now, number 9 is true. Number 10, if negotiation between management groups leads to a mutually agreeable business combination, the process is called a friendly takeover. So, if negotiation between management groups leads to a mutually agreeable business combination, the process is called a friendly takeover. True for number 10. 11. An offer by an acquirer to buy the stock of another company is commonly called a tender offer. So to buy the stock of another company. Number 11 is true. 12. A tender offer that is opposed by the acquiring management is called a hostile bid. So opposed by the acquiring management is called a hostile bid. That's number 12. 13. Green mail exists when a company is encouraged to buy a potential acquiree. So exists when a company is encouraged to buy a potential acquiree. So number 13, green mail is the payment of a price above market value to acquire stock back from a potential acquirer. So it's false for number 13 because green mail is the payment of a price above market value to acquire stock back from a potential acquirer, not acquiree. Next, number 14, poison pill is the term used to describe the issuance of a special kind of convertible preferred stock to defer the acquisition of the company. Poison pill is the term used to describe the issuance of a special kind of convertible preferred stock to defer the acquisition of the company. So number 14 is false because we have here in number 14, 14, no? 14, the answer is false. A poison pill is the term used to describe the issuance of special kind of convertible preferred stock to defer the acquisition of the company. It's not a poison pill. Next, number 15. 14 is false. 15 is still false. The sale of the crown jewels defensive maneuver involves the sale of more assets than does the scorched earth defense. So the sale of the crown jewels defensive maneuver involves the sale of more assets than does the scorched earth defense. So number 15 is false. The sale of the crown jewels results when a target sells assets that will be particularly valuable to the potential acquirer. The scorched earth defense results when a target generally sells large amounts of assets without regards to the specific desirability to the potential acquirer. So we have now the sale of the crown jewels. Defensive maneuver involves the sale of more assets than does the scorched earth defense. Now number 16, the Fatman defensive maneuver involved the acquisition of assets by the potential acquiree. So by the potential acquiree, number 16 is true. Okay, then number 17, Golden parachutes give a bonus to all employees if the company is acquired. Golden parachutes are generally given only to top executives of the acquiree. Next, number 18. The Pacman defensive maneuver is where a potential acquiree attempts to purchase the acquirer. So, attempts to purchase the acquirer in number 18. 19. A business combination occurs when one entity gains control over the net assets of the other entity. So, true. 20. The only way to attain control over the net assets of another entity is to purchase the net assets. Now, the only way to attain control over the net assets of another entity is to purchase the net assets in number 20, which is false. Control over the net assets of an entity can be accomplished by purchasing the net assets or by purchasing the acquiree voting common stock that represents ownership of the assets. 21. In an acquisition where the acquirer pays cash for the acquiree assets, the book value of the acquirer increases. So here, the book value of the acquirer increases. So number 21, the answer to number 21 is okay. There, false. Number 21 is false. If in an acquisition where the acquirer pays cash for the acquiree assets, the book value of the acquirer increases. So in number 21, why the answer is false? The amount of cash will always equal the net uh, assets recorded by the acquirer. So the amount of cash will always equal the net assets recorded by the acquirer. As a result, the acquirer's book value will not change due to an acquisition. So in other words, the book value of the acquirer will not increase. 22. In an acquisition of assets for assets, the ownership structure of the acquiree does not change. In an acquisition of assets for assets, the ownership structure of the acquiree does not change. So the answer to number 22 is true. Number 23, in an acquisition of assets for assets, the ownership structure of the acquirer changes. So in number 23, the answer is false. The ownership structure of the acquirer changes. Now, why 23 is false? There is no change of stock in an asset for asset acquisition. So, there cannot be a change in ownership structure of the entity. Now, no, because it's merely acquisition of assets for assets. 24, there is an increase in the total capitalization of an acquirer when the acquirer issues stock for acquiree assets. There is an increase in the total capitalization of an acquirer when the acquiree issues stock for acquiree assets. So in number 24, the answer now is true. Next, number 25, in an exchange of stock, acquirer for assets, acquiree, the ownership structure of the acquiree does not change. So number 25 is true. 26, in an exchange of stock, acquirer for assets, acquiree, the acquiree stockholders become acquirer stockholders. So in number 26, the answer is false. The acquiree stockholders become acquirer stockholders. So in number 26, the answer is false. The acquiree corporation becomes an acquirer stockholder, not the acquiree stockholders. Next, 27. Control over the acquiree assets is directly achieved in an asset for asset exchange, but indirectly achieved in an asset acquirer for stock acquiree exchange. So in number 27, here we have the answer is true. 28, a business combination that occurs where only one of the original entities in existence after the combination is called a statutory consolidation. So it's called a statutory consolidation. Number 28 is false. A combination that results in one of the original entities in existence after the combination is a statutory merger. Next, 29, the acquiree entity is liquidated in a statutory merger. Liquidated in a statutory merger. So number 29 is true. 30, for a business combination to qualify as a statutory consolidation, a new corporation must be formed. Next, number 31, in a statutory consolidation form of business combination, the retained earnings account of the newly formed corporation has a balance of zero immediately after the combination. So has a balance of zero immediately after the combination. 31. The combination results in the stockholders of one entity controlling the other entity. The retained earnings of the entity acquiring control is carried forward to the newly formed corporation. So the answer is false. For number 30, then we have 31, then followed by number 32. Um, After completing a business combination in the form of a statutory merger, or statutory consolidation, there is only one legal entity in existence. 32 is true. Number 33. In a business combination accompanied as a stock acquisition, normally two companies exist after the combination. So it's still true. Number 34. A business combination accomplished as a stock acquisition must be accomplished with a stock-for-stock exchange. So in number 34, the stock of the acquiring company must be purchased by the acquirer, but the value transferred to the acquiring stockholders does not have to be in stock. Payment may be in another asset or the issuance of debt. Okay, so we now have number 35. Uh, a stock acquisition is the only form of business combination that might require the preparation of consolidated financial statements. So, a stock acquisition requiring preparation of consolidated statements, required consolidated financial statements. So 35 is true. Next, 36. The substance of statutory mergers, statutory consolidation, and stock acquisitions is the same if income tax considerations are ignored. So number 36 is true. 37. There are uncertainties when two companies agree on a business combination. So there are uncertainties when two companies agree on a business combination. 37 is false. Okay, so let's now have the note for number 37. The consideration to be given by the acquirer is sometimes not completely known because the consideration is based partially on acquiring future earnings or the market value of acquired debt or stock. Now, number 37, the question is, there are no uncertainties when two companies agree on a business combination. So, repeat, the consideration to be given by the acquirer is sometimes not completely known because the consideration is based partially on acquiring future earnings or the market value of acquirer debt or stock. Next, number 38. When the acquisition price of an acquiree is contingent on acquiring future earnings, the acquisition price may change. So when the acquisition price of an acquiree is contingent on acquiring future earnings, then the acquisition price may change. Okay, so in number 38, we have, okay, still true. 39 and 40 are false. 39. When the acquisition price of an acquiree is contingent on the market value of the acquirer's stock, the acquisition price may change. And that's number 39 is false. Okay, any change in the number of shares of acquirer stock given returns the purchase price to the agreed level. The adjustment is to stock and additional paid-in capital. The investment account is unchanged. So number 39 is false. 40. For business combination to qualify as reorganization for tax purposes, the acquiree stockholders must receive voting common stock of the acquirer. So for business combination to qualify as reorganization for tax purposes, the acquiree stockholder must receive voting common stock of the acquirer. So number 40 is the acquirer stockholders must continue to have an indirect ownership interest in the acquiring net assets, preferred stock, or a non-voting class of stock qualifies as an indirect, okay, as an indirect ownership as well as voting common stock. Then 41, there are different required levels of stock ownership in the acquiree for the three different types of reorganizations for tax purposes. And number 41 is okay. Let's look at the final answer for number 41. Okay. And number 42, one important benefit in a business combination is any net operating loss carry forward that might exist and be available to the acquirer. So number 42 is false based on this premise that in number 42 and it's false. A net operating loss carry forward uh, should cannot be acquired. They are only available to the acquirer if the combination qualifies as a non-taxable exchange. Okay, now let's go to the multiple choice theory. We have so far up to number 127 for the answers to the multiple choice theory. So we now begin with number 43. Which of the following types of business combination typically occurs when management is attempting to monopolize a particular industry? So the answer is horizontal combination. Number 43 is A. 44. Horizontal business combination occurs when one entity purchases which of the following? So the answer to 44 is C, a competitor. Next, 45, horizontal business combination helps sales increase by all but which of the following? So, 45, letter B. Now, horizontal business combinations help sales increase by all but which of the following? So number 45 is taking control of a distribution system. Okay, so meaning we have the exception. Next, number 46. Which of the following types of business combination typically occurs when management is attempting to improve the efficiency of operations? So, to improve the efficiency of operations, number 46, we still have vertical combination. 47 is a vertical combination occurs when one entity acquires another entity which has the following characteristics. So vertical combination occurs when one entity acquires another entity which has the following characteristics. So for 7, either A or C. A, the acquiree purchases the acquirer's outputs, and C, the acquiree supplies raw materials to the acquirer. Next, number 48. Which of the following is a vertical combination? Now, vertical combination is a combination where the two entities have a potential buyer-seller relationship. So, number 48 is C. Number 49, which of the following types of business combination typically occurs when the management attempting to diversify its investments? So, number 40 here. Which of the following is a vertical combination? In number 48, it's still letter C. In number 49, which of the following types of business combinations typically occurs when management is attempting to diversify its investments? So it's conglomerate. 50, management acquires a business in a tangentially related industry to the current business. What form of business combination is accomplished? So number 50 is a conglomerate combination. Number 50 is B. Next, number 51. One reason for conglomerate combination is that management has become more aware that it helps accomplish which of the following? So 51, it helps increase income stability provided by diversifying the asset base of an entity. Next, number 52. Business combinations that result in one dominant company in an industry are said to have formed which of the following? So 52 is letter B. 52 is letter B, monopoly. 53. The business enterprises that enter into a business combination are termed as constituent companies. Are termed as constituent companies. When an offer is made to acquire a company and the acquiring management supports the offer, the offer is called which of the following? So it's a friendly takeover. In number 54, the answer is letter A. Next, number 55, the defensive uh, maneuver, where a company buys stock from a potential acquirer or uh, at a premium over the market price is called which of the following? So number 55 is letter C. Now that's your green meal. Next, number 56, the defensive maneuver, where a company seeks to be acquired by a company perceived to be a better match than the company making an offer to buy the potential acquiree, is called which of the following? So 56 is White Knight. So 56, uh, they call you 56. Okay, number 56, the answer is B, White Knight. Next, 57, Company A makes a hostile takeover bid for control of Company B. Okay, Company B makes a counter offer to purchase shares from Company A shareholders. Which of the following best describes Company B's response? So number 57 is letter A. 57 is letter A. Next, 57, 58. Company A has made an offer to purchase all of the outstanding shares of Company A. Okay. 58. Company A has made an offer to purchase. We have now Company A has made an offer to purchase all of the outstanding uh, shares of Company B for 10 per share, the current market value of those shares. In response to Company A's offer, the shareholders of Company B were given rights to purchase additional shares at 8 per share. Which of the following tactics was employed by Company B to prevent Company A uh, from acquiring control of Company B? So in number 58, the answer is prison pill. 59. What's the term used for the defensive maneuver where management of a potential acquiree sells desirable assets to reduce the company's value? So in 59, sale of the crown. assets. 59. Next, we finish with number 60. Shark repellents, a term of admission, measures, administrative measures. Okay. Requires that may make a hostile takeover more difficult. Which of the following is not a form of shark repellent? So, letter C, issuance of convertible preferred stock has control. So, in number 60, issuance of convertible preferred stock that converts into common stock of the acquirer if takeover is accomplished. Next, number 61. In number 61, defensive maneuvers can be internal to the potential acquiree, management, or stockholders, or may involve activities external to the acquiree. Which of the following is not an internal, shall we say, internal defensive maneuver? Which of the following is not an internal defensive maneuver? So, number 61 is C. C. That's Pacman defense. Defensive maneuvers can be internal to the potential acquiring management or stockholders, or may involve activities external to the acquiree. Which of the following is not an internal defensive maneuver? So 61 is Pacman defense. Able Limited offers to buy shares from the existing shareholders of We Company at a premium price. The current management and board of directors of We have let the We shareholders know that they do not approve of this. This is an example of hostile takeover. Control over an acquiree can be attained through which of the following? So we have now either acquisition of the acquiree assets or stock. Control over an acquiree can be obtained through which of the following? So number 63 is either acquisition of the acquiree assets or stock. Then 64, in an acquisition of assets, the acquirer must give up which of the following? Should give up. In an acquisition of assets, the acquirer must give up which of the following? Now, any of the above can be given up. So, including cash, other assets, or liabilities. So, must give up which of the following? Next, in number 65, in an acquisition where there is an exchange of assets for assets, how does the value of the acquiring net assets change? How does the value of the acquiring net assets change? The net assets may increase, decrease, or remain the same. In an acquisition where there is an exchange of assets for assets, how does the ownership structure of the acquiree change? So there is no change in the acquiree ownership structure. Number 67, 6 is A. 67, 67, the answer is A. In an acquisition where there is an exchange of assets for assets, how does the ownership structure of the acquirer change? So 67, there is no change in the acquirer ownership structure. 68, in an acquisition where there is an exchange of stock acquirer for assets acquiree, how does the value of the acquiree net assets change? So the net assets may increase, decrease, or may remain the same. In 69, in an acquisition where there is an exchange of stock acquirer for assets acquiree, how does the ownership structure of the acquiree change? So 69, the answer is there is no change in the acquiree ownership structure. 70, in an acquisition where there is an exchange of stock acquirer for assets acquiree, how does the ownership structure of the acquirer change? So in number 70, the acquirer company becomes stockholder of the acquiree. Okay, we still have numbers 71 up to 127. Now, will you follow up studying the remaining questions? You have the answers in the theories. Okay, so by Thursday, we are going to start discussing the problems. I'll not give you any assignment, but you are supposed to anyway open the YouTube and study what were discussed and including the theories. Okay, good night. May boss, ay man sila